we have an ending of a year and a beginning of a new year. And on that note, I am creating a bit of copy for my lovely content and the lovely IHP community to enable us to be straightforward. So I'm woo-woo, pseudoscience lady, because I'm a 5D mystic. Enlightenment, functional adult. Now, enlightenment is not some special gift from spirituality alone or religious stuff. No. Neuroscience community, studying plenty of it. I just don't know the lingo because I'm not a neuroscientist. But I have heard enough of interviews to know it's all good. Dark matter, dark energy actually is the real deal, unless you want to believe in mythology over, sciences. But see, here's where a grown-up doesn't need to believe in something. What I mean is, we read about the lovely 3 systems. What was it? Circles, cycles. Let me see. My brain doesn't work well. The circles of emotional regulation. Attachment informed, trauma informed. And FYI, we learned why a lot of not securely attached people who don't know that they could get help to stop hurting each other and bleeding, cutting, all those sayings that the teenagers love to use, but then they don't go and get a good therapist. But then again, 50% of therapists, according to some studies, they're not only compensating, and I've seen them compensate by making the narcissist out to be a monster, while the narcissist is a person who needs just as much help as the other, but they are children who grew up probably, I'm assuming, with narcissistic parents, and they didn't recover yet. They're still looking for all the bystanders, so all together they march, like in Braveheart, but Braveheart at least is a movie based on, I think, historical stuff. Or anyways, it's a movie where you see them actually going into war. These are people who use their mouth to put into a shame, like in the compulsive thief story with Sadhguru, the Zen master. So the Zen master is what a 5D mystic, enlightenment, functional adult, pseudoscience woo lady is. And that's anybody who has compassion and a brain, left and right, to use to understand attachment and trauma information. Again, emotional circle. Now, this is very important because, see, when I hear people talking about yoga and spirituality, the extreme Christian people, which not only, it's a disgrace personally, I love Jesus. It's a disgrace every time I hear some human being who wants to use that name and the medieval text, and they are also using it in a way that my subjective personal reality says, I'm not sure about what you're doing, and what I see is an inner child that's leading the way. Yes, I don't see an adult there, because if you were an adult, you'd know how to use your words appropriately and your emotional plane, which you don't, because I can see through your mannerisms your superiority, which means your inferiority. Low self-esteem is the only reason why you would actually curse in a certain way to create what seems to a person who's smart, because smart faces. Flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable brain. It's because my emotional personal body isn't underdeveloped. I know how to soothe my nervous system. So I can have an argument with you, and inside my body, I'm totally in soothed state, which is where the quote-unquote angry Buddhist quote comes into the mix. I learned it from my somatic therapist teachers. So any one of you tuning in here today can actually be here. You know what's beautiful about being in a developed soothing system is that you have fun with the grown-ups. In fact, we don't talk to ignorant people. I personally have nothing to say to the people who want to make false accusations because their extreme religious group brainwashed them once they had some nightmare or two, and they don't know about Patrick McNamara, great neuroscientist. He's got 3 interviews with the Big Well or the Think and his book, Religious Self, which is really awesome because he explains you have a self, you have a brain, and in fact, he's not biased, unlike other neuroscientists who I've also watched, because their data is just as important, who say we have anxiety because there's no more spirituality. It's not the belief system that has a person actually be able to soothe their nervous system. It's them learning information of their embodied brain, which they don't want to, because, wait a minute, they can, but there's also the bad therapists. As I was saying, about 50%, they're not only not healed, so they are still out to get the narcissistic parent to save people from a supervillain. Lo and behold, codependent types, low self-esteem, we charge, and every interview they do, I'm like, whoa, there's a bunch of teenagers leading interview land. They all have an enemy, and they seem to be the superheroes fighting supervillains. I don't need to watch movies. I just need to go on podcasts and watch people be interviewed by other teenagers. And I say teenagers because only teenagers act like they know everything. And that's the whole part of adaptive children. Thank you, Terry Real. When they're into an argument, quote unquote, which, Do we really want to do arguments? There's no fun in that. There's many more important things to do in life and the world. But lo and behold, adaptive children, they're going to try and maintain power and control. I'm right, you're wrong. Okay. As you allow yourself to navigate that terrain, they won't let up. And they're going to bring to you they're going to spill the 3-year-old out there. Everything that's in their peripheral view of knowledge, you got it. They're going to start doing that. The minute that you still I don't agree. I just don't agree. I'm a differentiated self. I think differently. I feel different. I have a subjective experience. Do you not understand the words? No. Now you've moved to, how dare you not take my side? How dare you continue to tell me it's untrue? And lo and behold, you've become the evil person in another person's, conversation. And their behavior completely gets out of context in a short matter of time. I've had so many experiences. Now I know what I was dealing with. And I'm like, whoa, we got a lot of underdeveloped emotional regulation. And these people are successful. Yeah, they got money, they got fame, they got everything, but they don't know how to use their own body. Let me think. Do I want to? No, I don't. I don't want to have anything to do with people who are not smart faces. But I want to talk about it because the yoga thing. I don't do too much yoga. I did do yoga for 9 months because I promised I would in my inner engineering, Shambhavi Kriya. So I had to make a promise, which I adhered to. I wanted to. I'm good with making promises like that. And my lovely trauma experts and attachment experts. So from my lovely educational courses, I found out why yoga helps people. So lo and behold, the Christian extremist lady who I saw being interviewed, who basically said, demons came out of my body. You obviously don't know about trauma memory or a good therapist. And you're making it sound like there's devils and demons coming out of a person's body. You don't know Patrick McNamara either. And then there's another lady that I saw talking about spirituality, and another male I saw talking about it as a cult. And all of these people, lo and behold, they all looked like little teenagers to me, who obviously didn't have any objective awareness of what had happened to them, because none of them were seemingly taking their good therapist seriously. For all I know, they ended up with the bad ones who are like, yeah, you're right on. You are right. All of those people, evil, Knievel, medieval, come on over here. Let's find our group. And there you go. Recovery? No. They're just all up in their threat. Managed threats. We got a villain out there. It's people who are talking like you, lady. Yes, I'm pseudoscience lady. Remember, I mean nothing. But apparently I can mean so much to one person as we're conversing that they're scared of me for saying I don't judge people. Wow, you really want to cast those stones. Let me think about that one. Don't cast a stone. I wonder about that sin word that people are flaunting all around and so scared about once they die. Let me think again. Am I using my brain enough? So I'm here for the people who are in the in-betweens, because they're the ones who are vulnerable to the extreme religious people who are not all ethical cults. And even if they are, the whole reason why you would be in a cult in the first place is because you don't know how to use your brain and to be objective with your emotional self and know, wow, I'm really, really longing to be a part of something. So the soothing thing, because that's the part that's important. You're a 0-1-year-old. I have one too. Difference is my soothing mechanism is pretty strong. So yoga didn't make that big of a difference to me. But what I understood, thanks to my trauma and attachment researcher peeps, is that it helps to grow the areas of your brain that were affected by your traumatizing beginning to life. So this is a serious topic, because your hippocampus gets compromised in its growth, the prefrontal cortex and the corpus callosum, which means that you have not been given the opportunity to be all that you can be in your brain structure. And furthermore, of course, you're going to have an underdeveloped soothing system, because the first year of life, you are terrified in your body. While some people think this is extreme, I see people all day long doing stuff that is of low self-esteem, indirect communication, and narcissistic, but really, that's not a word in my book that needs to be used in a way, because when you're pointing a finger like that, I know I got a teenager who's in trauma, safety behavior response. It's called shame, blame, fault, revenge, and none of us play that game, because it's called, we have the Zen master's eyes of, what are you doing? Why are you picking on someone? They're not doing anything to you. Oh, you don't agree that they have chosen to have another pronoun, really, and this is your behavior. There's a way that grown-ups know how to say, no, this isn't okay, because we know how to regulate the heart. It's a nervous system. It's straightforward. Yoga supports people to grow the corpus callosum, prefrontal cortex, hippocampus, and your connectomes, which leads to integration of the brain, a human's inner and outer well-being, and secure attachment, and more. So It's not demonic or devils. Happy 2023. Welcome 2024, and we'll be back with more. Have a great day.